Hello everyone and welcome to another Thomas video. So today we're going to be taking a look at Sneak and Show in Thomas format. So I kind of wanted to try this deck out because a lot of people are telling me that there are a lot of energy decks out there in the format at the moment. And obviously having Fury or Lightning Bolt is going to be very helpful in those kind of matchups. But we also have a sneaky little tech versus those white creature decks, which we're also going to be sneak attacking with or putting it down on the battlefield using the Show and Tell, which is going to be this card, Rennie the Song Unending. So this is an 8 mana card that says flying, protection from white and black. And when it enters the battlefield, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of creatures or planeswalkers your opponent controls, where X is the number of lands you control. It's also 10/10, so if you attack it with twice, you win the game. But this is a card that says no to Static Prison, no to Swords of Plowshare, and it's not going to deal that much damage when it comes down because usually you're going to have something like Ancient Tomb come down to play this with a Show and Tell, things like that. So like it's not going to deal a lot of damage, but sometimes it's going to be able to kill like an Also Pride or Guide of Soul. The fact that it's flying, it's also immune to the removal spells that everybody is playing, is what makes this card pretty good in current metagame. As for the Ulamog the Defiler, we do have 2 copies of Gemstone Cavern to exile at the start, but we also have 4 copies of Chrome Moxes that can also exile our big creatures into buffing up the Ulamog when it comes down. But we also have 2 copies of Ugin's Labyrinth that can also exile one of our duplicate copies of Ulamog as well. But because we're only going to be playing 4 copies of Ulamog the Defiler, we don't play that many copies of Ugin's Lab, and it's also pretty bad into Strip Mines as well, so we're only going to be playing 2 copies of it. So hence I'm going to be upping over to some Thomas Special 3 to show you guys what the deck does. So let's hop over. Alright, let's take a look at this deck. Shock that in. Okay, bad start. Bad start. We have a Strip Mine. Let's see what comes out. Fatal Push. Sure. Okay, so we kind of want to probably protect these 2 coming out. And I want to draw the Show and Tell last, right? Now the problem is, they could have another Strip Mine, but this is my only blue source, so I don't know. I feel like I need to shock, but they could have another Strip Mine, which could be really, really bad. A Psychic Frog. Okay. It's not going to be anything too amazing, but I feel like if this attacks twice, I just win the game, right? So, yeah. We'll see how this one goes. This has protection from black and white, so it should be pretty difficult to kill it. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. 1, 2... I have to play the Gemstone Cavern here. Attack. Last turn. Last turn. Alright, Ureni. Actually sick. Actually sick. Okay, so we're gonna want the Blood Moon in this matchup. Into the Flood Maw as well. I don't think Spell Pierce is worth it. And Fury can be pretty good as well. I just don't know what to cut. Maybe Fury's bad in this matchup. Yeah, maybe Fury is kind of bad. It does make our Ulamog kind of bad, though, if I don't have a Fury. Not sure. Because the Fury can exile one of these, right? And then buff up the Ulamog. I think we'll try this one for now. Alright. So we can have a turn to sneak attack down, potentially. Maybe I have to get rid of Into the Flood Maw. Ooh, that's actually really bad. That's actually really, really bad. What happened? I don't like it. So we have another Ancient Tomb. We didn't get the land that we needed, actually. Yikes. We needed a red land, right? I don't like that, for sure. I think we still play out the sneak attack anyways. Oh, thank God they didn't get rid of the other land. Might be a go next situation if they have a creature to get back the strip mine here. A flute. A flute. Show and tell top deck. Oh, never mind. Okay, don't show and tell top deck. Don't show and tell top deck. So I think the bolt here is actually pretty good. I was looking for a Chrome Mox though. That would have been sick. Oh, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Might be looking for a go next situation, potentially. Oh, they play Treasure Cruise in that deck? That's kinda... I don't know about that. I mean, you have to get rid of a sneak attack here. Oh, you know what? Blood Moon top deck would be kinda sick as well. Or a Chrome Mox here. Or, you know, another, like... Ooh! Hold up. Hold the phone here. Okay, so what is the best thing we can do here? So... I'm kind of thinking like this. And then we play the Mountain. Chrome Mox. Play the Blood Moon? 1, 2... Huh. Like so? Land? We'll play a Blood Moon here. I'm just not sure about... Okay. I think I'm just going to... put this away. And then leave up, and then Lightning Bolt the Shaman. Okay. Then we sneak attack. Put Atroxa down. Okay, we got another Chrome Mox. Atroxa. Could we win actually if I put the Fury up? Oh, we didn't get any other red mana for the Chrome Mox, so I think it's just better to get that. We also got an island, which is nice. I guess in case opponent has another flute, like they draw into another flute, getting Show and Tell is probably better. And then we pass. Yeah, this way, even if opponent draws into another Disruptor Flute, we have Show and Tell. Right, GG's. Alright. Decent looking hand. I guess the best thing we can draw is like Chrome Mox next turn. Or Ancient Tomb. That's why we have the Brainstorm for that. Oh, well. Ooh, it's a Spell Pierce. But do you want to Spell Pierce this instead of a Show and Tell, potentially? That is the question. That is the question. Okay, question answered. No, Strip Mine. So Ulamog is not that great at the moment, so I'm just going to shuffle this away. Uro. Oh no.
Walk with me. Sink
This is
with
bad.
me. I will enlighten you.
This is actually bad because... Oh my god. That's so unfortunate. No, my Ulamog.
Surely you see the humor here.
Maybe we're gonna draw... Maybe they're not gonna have a counterspell. Oh god. This is worst case scenario. Okay, I think we lost. I think we lost here. We're taking 6 damage. So unless we top deck an Ulamog the Defiler, we're probably dead.
Your new look is enchanting.
Yeah, we're dead. Alright, opponent. That was kind of crazy. Okay, so we're gonna want defense grids, and I think that's it. I'm not really sure about the Flusterstorm. Fury can definitely go out 100%. Bolt. Do we want a bolt? I don't think so. Okay. That's kind of cute, right? So do we want to get stifled or... I think we play just shock this in. Because it could be strip mine or something else, right? Okay, so this is a spell pierce. We also didn't draw. This is kind of a bad draw, actually. Yeah, kind of a bad draw. See if they actually have a spell pierce or it's just a brainstorm. All right. This is so bad. When we have something like this. Come on, it's a 24 land deck. How can it be so tough? There we go. So I think we put one of them into under the Chrome Mox and just put the other one away, potentially. I'll just play this now. Well, I will say the defense grid is doing a lot of work here. Wow. I mean, we did get a Chrome Mox, but if I had a land here, that would have been actually sick because Yeah. That actually would have been so sick if I had a land there. Yeah, the defense grid is doing so much work. I might just go Blood Moon into leaving up a Spell Pierce if I don't draw a land here. Oh, we got So what should I do? I could just Blood Moon into a Spell Pierce, or I can just Show and Tell into a Spell Pierce. I feel like Show and Tell into a Spell Pierce is probably better, because even if I play the Blood Moon here into a Spell Pierce, opponent can still fetch. Yeah, they can just fetch a land. So we'll put down an Aatroxa. Artifact. Ulamog. Sneak attack. Instant speed. And a land. There's a stock up. I was hoping for a Chrome Mox there, which would have been actually sick. But I guess we already went through like 2 Chrome Moxes already. Okay, Source of Plowshare. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, they don't have anything. Kind of surprised, actually. Well, I guess I'll just play out a Blood Moon then. Alright. Okay, so they are basically dead here because we're gonna rush out a Ulamog. Ulapog. Alright, so I'm not sure if they're playing my list. If they are, I'm kind of scared because I'm not putting in lightning bolts. But if they're not, I shouldn't be playing this in the main deck. Are they playing my list? That is a question. Because they have things like Deathray Shamans, things like that. And Worry Zone Guard. So I'm not sure about the lightning bolt, but I think we'll just go with this. This is actually such a sick hand, by the way. But the Ulamog only gets Annihilator 1. Uh This is actually a sick hand, but I'm not really sure. Come on, Spell Pierce. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Stifle? No stifles either. So they have a stifle and they also have Spell Pierce in hand. So I think I'm just going to exile the Brainstorm here. If that's the case. And I'm going to just resolve, try to resolve 2 Show and Tells back to back. So obviously drawing a land here is the best thing we can see. Okay, so maybe they were just like, do they have a stifle? Let's see. Let's find out. They do. So I was right. They freaking had both of them. Man, if they just stifled the Chrome Mox there, that would have been so good. But they were just too smart. My opponent was just too smart. I guess this was a mulligan, maybe? Wah, wah, wah. So they had double stifle. I wonder if I should have just played out the Chrome Moxes beforehand. If that's the case. Well, well, well. Honestly, seems a bit rough at the moment. Without the defense grid on turn 1, you know? It seems like they are kind of playing my list. Except they don't have any creatures other than Deathray Shaman and Uro. Alright. The thing is, I'm not even sure if Ancient Tomb is going to be that good, because the Deathray Shaman is dealing 2 damage here and then 4 damage. So I think I'm just going to get a Gemstone Cavern for the next turn. Let's see. Okay, well, there's all the lands that we were looking for before. I can't really take damage right now. So I think I'm just going to start, like, just putting bunch of stuff onto the battlefield. And I'll just leave a Spell Pierce back later in the next turn or something like that. Two, three, four, five, six. So I have 6 mana next turn. Opponent already used the double mana drain. Hoping they don't have another mana drain here. Seems to be kind of over though. Potentially. We're super dead. I should actually realize that they would bring a Contained Priest and they would have it in the sideboard. So we should have Lightning Bolts in the main deck. It's just a little bit like a miss sideboarding. We couldn't kill the Deathray Shaman, things like that. Okay, I think this is a mulligan. That is a keep. Belcher? Belcher in this economy? Really? I could brainstorm into a Fury, kill this. Never mind. Never mind. Bum bum bum. So this just means that they have a Belcher. I'm not gonna win if they have a Belcher in hand or they have a counter spell here. So I think I'm just going to show and tell immediately here, potentially. Yep, I think I'm just going to play a show and tell here. Metallic Rebuke. Whoa. Wish I could have been able to kill this with the Fury. So they have another Metallic Rebuke. So, what do we even need at the moment? What do we even need? So opponent taps out. Kind of crazy. Unfortunately, we actually don't have much at the moment. Okay, so they have a Flare of Denial. So I can kill the Tamio and the Landlord Navigator. Or I can kill these two. I feel like Tamio is probably more threatening at the moment. Because it's creating an artifact every single turn. So we know opponent has a Flare of Denial. 100%. There's that Tamio again.
Oh no! I'm late for class!
And I think opponent might have a Metallic Rebuke in hand as well. So they play another Navigator. We're really not drawing anything at the moment. Would have loved like show and tell, stock up, sneak attack there. 'Cause there's a good chance we might have actually won there. Because we have a Spell Pierce too. I think I'm just gonna block. But now, there's a good chance now they also have a counter spell on top of a Flare of Denial, or they might have like multiple of it. GG's. Okay, Blood Moon comes in. Defense grids come in. Flusterstorm. I don't think I care about the Fury, maybe? I'll just have a Lightning Bolt instead. Maybe potentially Lightning Bolt can also go out. I think I'll maybe work with this. Maybe we're supposed to have 4 copies of defense grids because we're playing against a lot of counter spell decks. I didn't actually expect today to be just all like counter spell decks. So maybe I'm supposed to have 4 copies of defense grids. Okay, we do have a Blood Moon. Problem is what is Blood Moon doing? We need another red source too. We'll see. There's too many too many blue mana cards here for the Blood Moon to be effective. So I think we just kind of wait on this. I like everything else though. Oh, I should have spell pierced that. I'm so dumb. They didn't put anything underneath that? Oh, Metallic Rebuke. So they have a Metallic Rebuke. Sure. Metallic Rebuke. So I think we fetch a blue source with that. Ancient Tomb. Okay, defense grid pretty good. Nothing exiled, honestly, with for the show and tell. I do have a Chrome Mox though. So I'll play the defense grid. They kind of have to contest this. So Metallic Rebuke comes out. The Flusterstorm. Sure. Then I play the Chrome Mox. What could they possibly have here? Am I playing a Blood Moon here or Show and Tell? That is a question. I think I'm just going to play Ulamog down. Show and Tell into Ulamog. Oh, they could have a Kappa Cannoneer though. That is true. I'm exiling three things a turn. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know what? We'll see what happens. It was a flute. It was a flute. Cameo. Short.
Is there a deeper meaning to this passage?
So they're kind of dead in like 3 turns. I'm actually surprised they did that. Since the Tamio can be used as a blocker, you know? Okay. Excellent. Now we're going second. Things are looking a little bit grim. Going second here. So Blood Moon is, yes, technically okay, but it's kind of slow, you know? Maybe I want like lightning bolts instead this time. Perhaps. Alright. Alright. So we're Chrome Mox away from a turn 1. Turn 1 Show and Tell. Patchwork Automaton. That's kind of scary. Wouldn't that have been nice? Bubble. I think they have a Metallic Rebuke. Potentially. So they saw Ulamog. Okay, if they're doing this, they must have another one. I really needed something that's not a gemstone cavern. So this is actually kind of bad for me. I think we're dead. This card, I think, lost me the game. Yikes. Should I take this out? It's a trap! Alright, so this deck was very, very bad for the current metagame. I kind of knew going into this, a lot of decks are playing, you know, Swords of Plowshare. A lot of decks are playing Containment Priest in the sideboard. So I kind of knew going into this, but I didn't know how bad it was going to be until I actually played it. And not to mention, it was even worse because there were just too many like strip mines, and we were playing against a counter spell deck. So not having the fourth copy of the defense grid actually kind of hurt the deck quite a bit. Funny enough, this Ureni, if we had more copies of it instead of putting down Atraxas or Ulamog, we actually may have won some of the games that we couldn't have. Obviously, having only 2 copies of it meant that we were a little bit more vulnerable to Swords of Plowshares. And not to mention, there were so many stifles, which actually made the deck way worse than it should be. Because they could just stifle the Atraxa, stifle Fury, things like that. So overall, it was actually very hard to get the sneak attack off because our lands were getting like blown up left and right using stifles and strip mines. But even like getting the show and tell off into a creature, it's just not gonna work because they can just, you know, swords into just killing our creatures. So yeah, I think the deck could work in some different meta, but at the moment, with so many Containment Priests running around and so many swords, something like this, that's a little bit similar to, you know, putting a big creature down on the battlefield, kind of like the Reanimator or the kind of the Sword and Tell kind of style deck, is just not gonna work. So yeah, that is gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye bye.